"Welcome to Subway," I'd always say, in my friendliest voice, flashing my fakest smile. I've practically been wasting away in a Subway in northern Nebraska for the last 2 years, working 9 to 5, making a whopping $9.62 an hour. My part-time position soon turned permanent after my divorce was finalized. She just decided one day she wasn't happy, and it resulted in her taking everything and leaving. I haven't heard from her since. No one has. I suppose I shouldn't bore you with my origins, though. That's not why you're here. That's not why I'm sharing this. You see, this all started with my manager's pestering. He said he wants to emphasize the company's open-mindedness to new creations. Hell, he even went as far as stealing other restaurant slogans, hanging handmade signs outside saying, "You can have it your way at Subway." We all pondered around the subject of his sudden enthusiasm for store promotion. Midlife crisis, divorce, corporate pressure. Whatever the reason, he was crazy about the topic, and he was driving us crazy talking about it. Eventually, though, I was irritated enough one night to step up to the plate after hearing one of his many lectures on creativity. I introduced it as the Senatorial Sub. I told him it was an idea I came up with after Molly left, and it was. She just had more involvement in its creation than he'll ever know. It was a mundane sub, really lettuce, cheese, tomato, but it wasn't your typical beef in it. He was hesitant as the words left my mouth, but I reassured him by saying I raise cattle, and I would supply it free of charge. And from that moment on, he was in. I'm sure you already know the story. I'm sure my face is being blasted all over the news. I'm sure you're calling me a sick bastard. But from that moment on, I had a moment of clarity. This gave me a purpose. And as the customers flooded in and complimented my work, my purpose only flourished into a duty. I obsessed over my cooking. For once, something I did was good. For the first time in those 2 years, I felt important. Special. A key member, and no one could take that away. My schedule ran like clockwork. Once a week, I would get the meat, put it on ice until morning, and then take it into work. From there, I would wash it, heat it, and prep it for the day. No one questioned it, and I liked it that way. But today was different. Today, my coworker, Abby, showed up early, leaving me unable to refill the stock for a new demanded item. By the time I had a chance to go back out to my car, the meat was already tainted, but I guess that's what I get for leaving it in the sun. So I watched as our supply ran slim. We sold our last Senatorial Sub to an elderly lady, and we were forced to turn away customers who desperately asked for our new item. And as soon as Abby told me she was going on lunch, I knew what I had to do, as I stared at the customer eating the remnants of our supply. "Hey, did that lady leave while I was on lunch?" "Her food's still there," Abby asked, pointing at the empty table with food still on it. "I think so. I think someone picked her up out front. Hey, did you see the new sign for Moe's out there?" I replied, in an attempt to divert the topic. By then, alarm bells rang in my head and I didn't clean up all the evidence. It wasn't enough time. She came back from lunch early. I was lucky enough to wipe the knife clean. "I was just out there. I didn't see anyone leave," Abby said. "I'm gonna go check the bathrooms." As soon as I heard the bathroom door closed, I grabbed my coat and sprinted out the door. As I opened it to leave, I opened it to the rest of my life, and I knew that as soon as I stepped outside, I'd be a wanted man. Because it's only a matter of time until they find that woman's body in the freezer.